Hi, I'm Ben Ferguson, and welcome to your AMAC Weekly News. It is a big week of news here, and first up, the John Durham investigation into the Clinton campaign has now brought an indictment against a Clinton campaign lawyer. That is just the tip of the iceberg, and there's a lot more I'm going to tell you in just a second. Also, Border Patrol agents are now under investigation because they actually tried to secure the border. And now the White House says they're disappointed in them. I'll have those details in a moment. And finally, AMAC Action Senior Vice President Andy Mangione is here to talk about a shocking new push to raise your taxes. But first, a quick reminder, if you haven't shared this video, share it with your family and friends. Your AMAC Weekly News starts right now. There is a conspiracy to commit a major crime in this country that's much bigger than Watergate ever was. The John Durham investigation has actually now dealt a huge blow to not only the Clintons and the FBI this week, but also has given us disturbing revelations about what actually was going on during the Clinton campaign and the impeachment of Donald Trump. Yes, this is a huge story that has been killed by the media. The media refuses to cover it because it involves the mainstream media and Hillary Clinton, Barack Obama, and James Comey. New York Post columnist Miranda Devine called attention to this story. Specifically, she pointed the court documents connecting a powerful tech executive to the Clinton campaign lawyer Michael Sussman's indictment for allegedly lying to the FBI during the Trump-Russia investigation. I want you to take a listen to Devine and how she describes exactly what happened.
This is very interesting. The indictment, I mean, it's more than just lying to the FBI with this lawyer. It's also, he seemed to be engaged actively in propagating this completely false story about Donald Trump. And he's, implicated in Hillary Clinton's campaign, who were actively sowing this misinformation and this lie that ended up leading to the impeachment of Donald Trump.
So the question every American should be asking is, why isn't there wall-to-wall coverage on this massive story? A story that is a bigger conspiracy than Watergate. It shouldn't just be one news story. It should be cover to cover, page after page, story after story. In fact, this story is so big, there should be multiple stories in each newspaper every day about it. And let's take Donald Trump out of this and think about the grand scheme of things. This investigation, to be very clear, proves that the FBI knew in 2016 that the entire Russian collusion claim was a lie. The FBI admitted in January 2017, the same month that Donald Trump became president, that this was a lie. The Obama administration also knew it was a lie. And Hillary Clinton's campaign and Hillary Clinton knew it was a lie because they paid and authored the lie. Now, the only reason any of this happened is because these overly powerful individuals did not like who the people chose to become their president. And so they decided to try to overthrow the government, overthrow the will of the people, because they didn't like the choice that you made, that Americans made. So they just decided, hey, we'll just undo all of it. Again, this indictment shows us that the Clinton campaign, that includes Hillary Clinton, knew they were fabricating documents, lying on purpose to the FBI to then take down Donald Trump and also spy on his campaign. Clinton actually watched as the president of the United States of America was impeached based on something her campaign created, and she did nothing to stop it. For 4 years, the mainstream media sold this story to the American people. They also knew it was a lie, with no repercussions for them now. Yes, this is bigger than Watergate. The media should be questioning what Hillary Clinton knew, what Barack Obama knew, what James Comey knew, and when they all knew it. Instead, they are covering it up and acting like none of this even exists. They all knew from the beginning it was a lie. Just as a reminder, Comey is the guy who actually bragged about ordering FBI agents to interview General Flynn outside the standard protocol of the White House, setting him up for a perjury trap, and then laughed about it.
You look at this White House now, and it's hard to imagine two FBI agents ending up in the same room. How did that happen?
I sent them. Something I probably wouldn't have done or maybe gotten away with in a more organized investigation, a more organized administration, in the George W. Bush administration, for example, or the Obama administration. The protocol, two men that all of us have perhaps increased appreciation for over the last 2 years. And in both of those administrations, there was process. And so if the FBI wanted to send agents into the White House itself to interview a senior official, you would work through the White House counsel, and there'd be discussions and approvals and who would be there. And I thought, it's early enough, let's just send a couple guys over.
I want you to think about James Comey for just a moment, knowing that he knew that the entire time he was trying to bring down Donald Trump, trying to ruin people's lives like General Flynn, he was doing it based on a story that was bought and written, created and spread by Hillary Clinton. All of these lies and crimes need to come to light, and those responsible need to be held accountable for their actions, no matter who they are. So if you turn on the TV this past week, you saw a big story about a bunch of Haitians that were trying to break into this country illegally. Just kidding, you didn't see that story at all. Instead, what you are seeing now is a story about evil Border Patrol agents now under actual investigation for scaring Haitians trying to illegally cross the southern border as they told them to not do it. Yes, you heard me correctly. Apparently, the Department of Homeland Security has announced a new investigation because Border Patrol agents scared people using horses to keep Haitians from crossing into the U.S. illegally. Horses, right? Horses. The Secretary of Homeland Security, Mayorkas, will have none of this dangerous horseplay and said this at a congressional hearing on this subject.
I was horrified to see the images, and we look forward to learning the facts. We do not tolerate any mistreatment or abuse of a migrant, period.
That's right. No horseplay for Mayorkas. This is serious. I'm just glad that somebody in the Biden administration is actually taking the horse by the reins. Now, according to the left and the Biden administration, these sweet, innocent Haitians were terrorized by our evil Border Patrol horses, who decided to actually take their job seriously and tried to stop people from invading a country. Now, remember, the Biden administration, the media, they need you to understand these Haitians are so innocent that a group of them that actually took over a Border Patrol transport bus and then broke out into a big fight and beat the snot out of some Border Patrol agents, and then some of them actually escaped, are actually all peaceful people. Now, during the fight, an agent was literally assaulted, and then they ran away. In fact, these migrants were so out of control that Border Patrol had to use 2 buses with cages inside of them in order to transport them. I just have one question on the cages. Where's AOC crying right now? Shouldn't she be scolding Biden for putting migrants in cages? Because the Biden administration just did that. No. Instead, the left is attacking our Border Patrol agents, opening an investigation for doing their jobs. Not only are they letting these clearly violent individuals cross into the country illegally, but we're also letting them go. And we're not doing any COVID testing, which is what you're supposed to be all obsessed with anyway. So there you have it, folks. The Biden administration is putting Haitians in cages. Where is the media outrage over any of this? Oh, and another side note about the peaceful people from Haiti. Yeah, we flew some of them back and landed in Port-au-Prince, and guess what happened? They attacked the American border agents when they were getting off the plane in their own country because they were mad that we took them home. Don't worry, the media will not cover any of this. That I can promise you. So nowadays, when there are major issues happening that affect your life, usually the media is actually not talking about them or reporting on those issues. One of them deals with your taxes, and it's working its way through Congress right now. So how do we stop a massive tax increase that's going to have major ramifications for you? Joining me now to talk about this is the AMAC Action Senior Vice President, Andy Mangione. Andy, I appreciate you coming on. Let's talk about this incredible call to action for AMAC members. The response has been overwhelming to actually put pressure on Congress to stop one of the most horrific tax increases in American history at a time when we cannot afford to do it. Hyperinflation, the economy, job market, the list goes on and on, a pandemic, and now they're trying to raise taxes. It just doesn't make sense.
Hey, Ben. Pleasure to be here. The Democrats are looking for multiple ways to raise taxes. They have to pay for this $3.5 trillion budget that is nothing more than Bernie Sanders' socialist checklist, okay? So they're looking to raise taxes. And one of the ways they're going to raise taxes is on seniors through a capital gains tax increase. Now, right now, President Biden is selling this tax increase as just to affect Americans who earn over $1 million. But here's how ultimately this is going to whack seniors who live on dividend income as part of their retirement income. Corporations are going to react to this capital gains tax increase by adjusting their dividend payments. And what they're doing is shielding high income earners from taxation. But the adjustment is going to hurt everyday Americans who rely on these dividend payments to augment their retirement incomes. So the increase in capital gains tax, Ben, is going to decrease the long-term net worth of millions of retirees, and they're going to see less liquid cash from their investments. So what are they going to have to do?
Not just that, but so many seniors, when you retire, look at what they invest in based on the dividends, because many people need to supplement their Social Security check with those monthly dividends that they can live off of without touching that principal. This would completely upend all of that stability for millions and millions of seniors in America right now that have worked hard, have saved appropriately. We're not planning on their entire retirement being just based on Social Security. And now you're going to mess with those Americans. It makes no sense why any administration would do this. It's really an attack on senior citizens.
That's exactly what it is. So what are they going to do? Now, seniors have been told their whole lives, save your money, invest your money. Retirement is a three-legged stool. It comprises a pension / 401k, any savings you have, okay, and an investment. So this capital gains tax increase is going to force them to reduce their investments. So they're going to have to live off something. So consequently, what's going to happen is their savings are going to dwindle. This capital gains tax increase is going to affect not high income earners, as President Biden says it's going to be, but everyday Americans who worked all their lives, saved their money, and are looking to live off dividends to augment Social Security and any other income they may have in retirement. This is horrible. So here's what AMAC Action did.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you. People that are watching right now, if you want to have your voice heard in D.C. and you want to be on the record as saying, I'm against this, stop messing with my retirement, my hard-earned money, Biden administration and liberal Democrats in Congress, how do they get involved in this call to action from you guys?
Number one, join AMAC. AMAC Action Advocacy is a benefit of membership, and we're advocating right now for you to stop this capital gains tax increase. We've sent out a call to action membership-wide. We did this on Monday morning. And so far, over 57,000 messages have been sent by AMAC members to members of Congress telling them not to support this capital gains tax increase.
It's incredible the work that AMAC Action is doing. It's one of the most important parts of your AMAC membership, and that is exactly why we need to do this. It's incredible, 50,000 plus, and that number is going to rise, especially after this broadcast. Andy, I appreciate your dedication to this. Again, make sure that you check your updates when you are a member of AMAC. It's so important that you look at these updates. That's it for this edition of your AMAC Weekly News, but a very important reminder, if you haven't haven't joined AMAC or renewed your AMAC membership, this issue right here is exactly why you should do it. You receive these updates and the AMAC magazine as well, on top of our incredible member benefits. So if you're ready to get in the fight, join AMAC and more than 2 million other conservatives today. I'm Ben Ferguson, and I'll see you back next week for our next episode.